What's good, everybody? Greg Hickman here, and in this video I want to share a few tips so that you can make sure that the next conference you go to is a success versus coming home having a bunch of business cards and nothing to show for it. Sound good? Let's dive in. What's good, team? Greg Hickman here with Systemly, and on this channel we share the latest strategies, tips, and tools to leverage marketing automation and systems to create more predictability, profit, and purpose in your business. Now, be sure to click the subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you never miss a new episode, because we got a whole lot more coming your way. So, conferences. I just got back from sunny San Diego, where I was at Social Media Marketing World, and I am blessed to say that I got to speak this year. I spoke there a couple years ago, and really going to this event starting in 2014 really helped me understand why I should be going to events in the first place to help my business grow and to grow personally. But it also taught me that if you go without a plan, likely you're going to come home with just a bunch of business cards. So I don't want you to just come home with a bunch of business cards that more often than not won't turn into any sort of business at all. I want to give you a couple strategies that you can use to really make sure that you get the most out of any event that you attend. Sound good? Let's dive in. Tip number 1, define success. What does success look like for you coming home from this event? What are you going there for? Are you going there to learn a specific strategy that's going to be applicable for your business? If so, then mark that, write that down, right? Put that in your notebook and say, I want to learn XYZ strategies so that I can apply them by this date, and I'm going to do so by attending these sessions. By defining success of what this conference will mean for you in your personal life and or your business, depending upon what type of event you go to, you can look at the agenda and identify what sessions and what speakers you need to meet and make sure you attend so that you can learn those strategies. I always get super weary of people that come back from events and attended every single session at the event, or at least most of the sessions, and they have notebooks upon notebooks of notes, but they don't have any sort of actions that they take away. I learned a long time ago that when you go to learn something, it's much better to learn just in time versus just in case. So by defining success, you get to identify which sessions and which speakers you need to meet and go to extract the lessons that you'll be able to create action items for when you get home. Tip number 2, pick one person that you want to have a deeper relationship with by the time you get home from the event. Now, in my early days of going to events, I'd try to meet with everybody. I'd spread myself way too thin, and you're really just scraping the surface with a lot of different people, so that when you go home and they go home, you're really not going to be that memorable, and you really don't have much more of a connection that's going to allow you to connect with them off or online once you're back in your respective homes. So pick one person that you want to have a deep relationship with. Now, I want to give a shout out to Noah Kagan from AppSumo, because I learned this from him. He was at an event here in Denver, Colorado, and he was someone that I really wanted to meet. So I went to the event just because it was in my neck of the woods, and we said that we were going to sit down and chat. And when I started talking with him, we went off for a long walk. We met up with one other person, and literally for most of the event, Noah spent time chatting with me to get to know me a little bit deeper. And thankfully now I can say that we're friends, and he comes here, we'll go mountain biking, we'll link up at events and things like that. He's a great dude. You should definitely check out his channel. I'll link up his channel below the video, so be sure to check out his channel as well. He's got some really good stuff there. Now, so Noah taught me to really pick one person and go deep. And ever since he taught me that, that's exactly what I did. So here's the thing. By picking one person, you're actually still gonna come home with deeper relationships with more than one person, but that one person ends up being the catalyst for some really quality relationships. For me, back in 2013, I went to New Media Expo to meet Pat Flynn. And I focused only on having a deeper relationship with Pat because I really jived with his personality as a business person, as a family man, and I really got to learn a lot from him. I looked up to him. And so when I went to the event, I set out to make sure that I will leave with a deeper relationship with Pat. Long story short, I ended up in his suite for a little pre-party, and I got to meet a handful of other people that I am now blessed to call close friends, and in many cases advisors and mentors. So by focusing on that one person, it put me in a position to meet not only that one person, but also a few other really quality people that were also surrounded by that one person. So look at the speakers, look at other folks that are attending, check out social media to see maybe there's someone that a peer of yours that you've never actually met in person that would be amazing for you to have a deeper relationship with. Pick that one person, and before you ever even show up to the event, set a time to try to speak with that person if you have a relationship with them already. If you don't and they're speaking, go to their session. Comment on their stuff. Anything you can do beforehand to get that person to become aware of you so that when you introduce yourself in person, they will recognize you. That tip alone, hands down, is one of the best things that I've ever done when going to conferences. Tip number 3, preload your calendar. So you found out the agenda, you've looked through, you have identified what sessions you need to go to learn the things that you need to learn right now in your business. You've even maybe picked one person that you want to meet. Maybe they're a speaker, maybe they're on a panel. Identify those sessions and get them on your calendar, right? Depending upon where you're at and where the event is, there's always some wonkiness that goes on with making sure time zone changes. So block time on your calendar before you ever even get to the event so that you've made the time to go to the sessions that you'll need to go to learn the things that you need to learn, and that you'll be in the right place at the right time to meet your one person. Tip number 4, play it back. So before you even come home, block time on your calendar to recap all of your notes, download and kind of re-energize, and really reflect on what just happened at the event so that you can create an action plan, which leads me to tip number 5. Create a game plan, right? So many people come home with these notes, notebooks full, and they never even refer back to them. Go through, now that you've blocked time because you've planned to play it back, in that session, I want you to create a game plan. Spend at least an hour to 90 minutes reviewing your notes and identifying the top 3 to 5 things that you're going to take action on that upcoming week as a result of the event. Maybe you need to invest in some training. Maybe you need to implement a strategy or do something tactically that you learned while at the event. Make the game plan, and I highly recommend you only choose 3 objectives or 3 projects if you're a solopreneur or if you're kind of working in your business yourself. And if you have team and you have some sort of help, you can go to up to 5 projects. I really wouldn't tackle anything more than 5, because at that point, you're gonna get overwhelmed and none of them are gonna get done anyway. So in your planning session, create the game plan, which will have 3 to 5 things that you need to now implement on moving forward. All right, magical tip number 6, share the love. Share the plan that you just created. I don't care who you share it with, but share it with someone that's going to hold you accountable. If you have a team, share it with your team. Get those action items on your calendar so they can hold you accountable. If you're in a mastermind group or you have an accountability partner, tell your spouse, your friend, someone who's kind of in this together. If you don't have anyone to share that with, find that person also at the event so that you can have someone that kind of follows up with you on the action items and the game plan that you created coming out of the event in the first place. Because let's face it, you're coming back from a conference, you're super hyped up, energized, but you come back to running your business, you come back to your family, your friends, your life at home, potentially in a different city, most likely, and life just continues, right? So if you have this great plan on a notebook, that's one thing. But if that plan is shared with other people that are going to hold you accountable with deadlines and dates and things that maybe they can even do to help you get there, the more likely you will be to get those 3 to 5 things done, which if done right, like starting with tip number 1, would help you be successful in growing your business or growing personally because you already did the upfront work of defining what success looked like by being there in the first place. All right, guys, so those are my 6 tips and strategies that you can use for the next event that you're going to make sure it is 100% guaranteed a success. Here is the question of the day. In the comment section below, I want to hear your best conference going tip so that you get the most out of that conference. While I love my own strategy and I've been using it for years, I'm always willing to adapt and try new things. So I want to hear, what is your best tip for getting the most out of going to and attending conferences or any sort of events, workshops, or masterminds? Leave that answer in the comment section below. And if you're looking for more videos like this, be sure to click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you're notified the next time we have a new video. Until then, take care.